Hello Internets, nice to see you. Today I want to talk about how not to sound like a scale machine when you play a solo on your guitar. I recently gave a masterclass to some of my online students, and I'm gonna show you a fragment of it in just a moment. It's relevant and you really want the information in that. I do recommend you watch this video until the end so you can see all the played example and you can understand why we are doing what we are doing. I also recommend you grab your guitar and follow along. Let's say that you want to play a solo over a chord progression, okay? What's the first thing most guitar players do? They choose a scale, right? They think, what scale can I play over that? It's always scale, scale, scale for us, isn't it? Okay? The thing is that everybody misunderstands what scales are for, okay? People say, okay, I want to play over a G chord. And people start, okay, I'm gonna take the G major scale. Okay, and they start playing all these kind of scales super fast, or even if they're not super fast, everybody seems to have this idea that on every single phrase, you need to put in all the 7 notes of the scale. It's like, if you leave one note out, you are doing less than you could. No, it's not this way, okay? Scales are not supposed to work this way. Scales are supposed to work in a completely different way, okay? You don't learn scales to play scales as they are. You learn scales so that you have a bunch of notes to choose from. It's perfectly possible, and it sounds great, for instance, to choose only 5 notes from this scale and create your solo with those 5 notes. Or we can do something different, okay? The idea here is to try to sound less scalar, okay, and more melodic. What do? We can choose a triad pair. A triad is what you guys call a chord usually, a major chord, a minor chord, a diminished chord, as long as it has 3 notes. That's a triad. Pair means we choose 2 of them, okay? So the idea is to pick 2 triads from a scale. Any 2 triads. Then forget about the scale and just play those triads. Why we pick triad pairs? Because it's they're very easy to remember and to use. It's actually easier than playing scale. It's just we are less used to do them. They simplify your life a lot when you play over complex chord progression. Now, you don't have to remember that on the first chord you have to play a G mixolydian, and on the next chord you have to play a E flat Locrian, and on the next chord you have to play D harmonic minor, whatever. Now you can just remember what chords, what triads you have to superimpose on those chords, and believe me, it's much easier. In fact, the more complex the chord progression is, the more this approach simplifies your life, okay? It makes you sound more melodic, simply because you are not moving along the scale, you're not moving along, okay, you're not moving note by note with every note close by, you are moving, you're moving along the triads, and this makes you sound more melodic automatically. I'm gonna see this in a moment, okay? They are cool, and especially these girls likes them. We don't want to make her sad, right? So, all good reasons to learn triad pairs. And yes, we are on the internet, so I'm gonna use girls and kittens to keep you interested throughout the masterclass. Okay, internet rules. Tell me you're not happy. Anyway, triad pairs. How to play them? We build from below. We go from simple to hard, and the more important thing to know here is that it's not important to know 142 triad pairs. The important thing is how to make them sound. Okay, now stop looking at the girl. Okay, and let's go and play something. But these woke you up, huh? Very good. G7. Let's say we're playing over a G7 chord. Why I'm picking G7? Because you're gonna find a lot of dominant chords around, and because if you play blues, that's your chord. If you play other kinds of music, you're gonna find dominant chord. We're gonna play as triad pairs the G major and the F major triad. Those come from the mixolydian scale, okay? Again, you can use any of the examples above. So if you don't like the sound of these, pick one of the other triad pairs and do exactly the same thing we are doing right now with a different triad pair. The first thing we do is what I call the triad scale. Horrible name, I know. Okay. The idea is just to play those triads in order. So I'm playing a G triad, then the F triad just after, the G triad just after, and I keep alternating. F, G, F, G. And I want to cover an octave now. And of course I can go down. Now this sounds a bit boring now, because I mean, it's the same thing over and over. So let's start to inject a little bit of variation, okay? Well, first of all, of course, you can play all the triads. Rather than going down, you can go up on every triad now. I mean, that's so basic, but somehow people always forget this thing, okay? Other thing you can do is you can go up and down, up and down, up and down. So. Or. Okay, this sounds a bit less tilted than before. But we can do something a little bit better here, okay? For instance, we can go 2 times down and 1 time up. With down and up, I refer to the direction in which I play every single triad. This seems like, what, Tommaso, you're just scraping the end of the bottom of the barrel here. What do you mean 2 up, 1 down? It's not. But just doing these 2 down, 1 up sounds a lot more musical than just going all up or all down, okay? So it's gonna sound this way. It's a bit less predictable, okay? Now, I'm playing fast and loose with the timing here, okay? So I'm not really playing this in triplets like it's notated. You can play this in triplets, in quadruplets, you can change the rhythm as much as you want. You can do whatever you want. Now, those are the basic things, but you can get a much better sound if you use open position triads. How do we do that? We take this one, the original, we take the middle note of every triad and we push it down an octave. Now this is a bit harder to play. Okay, this sounds a lot more interesting than the other one. Eric Johnson, exactly, that's exactly what Eric Johnson does. Even on this example, you can go all up, all down, 1 up, 1 down, 1 down, 1 up, 2 down, 1 up, and all the possible things, okay? It's time to train. Let's go through all those possible variations, okay? You guys take it slow. You guys can start with one of the backing track. If you play this over the G backing track or G7 backing track, you can hear how this stuff sounds in practice. Okay? So now, a word of warning. Don't train too fast. Otherwise this happens. The train wreck. Okay? You take this slow. 1 step at a time. Don't push too much. If it becomes too hard, keep practicing the previous exercises. It will make sense. This happens when you go too fast. Don't go too fast. Of course, it's also a good idea if you know your triads really well on your guitar. If you need help to visualize chords and triads on your guitar in all the possible positions and recalling them at a moment's notice, then I recommend you have a look at the Complete Chord Mastery guitar course. Complete Chord Mastery, it's not a book. It's a complete video course that takes you from the basics up. We do everything you need to know about harmony and chords on your guitar. All the theory is done straight on the fretboard. There is no theory for the sake of theory here. Everything is immediately practical and everything is developed through exercises so you know how to apply these immediately on your guitar. If you have just a minute, click on the link on the top right to check out Complete Chord Mastery. If you like this video, smash on that like button and don't forget to subscribe and click on notification, otherwise YouTube will not let you know when I put up a new video. And if you have any comment, feedback, suggestions, write them down in the comment. I enjoy reading from you and I make videos on your suggestions. This is Tommaso Zilio of musictheoryforguitar.com and until next time, enjoy!